My deepest fear is not that I am inadequate. My deepest fear is that I am powerful beyond measure. It is my light, not my darkness, that most frightens me. I ask myself, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, fabulous? Actually, who am I not to be? I am a child of the universe, and my playing small does not serve the world. There is nothing enlightened about shrinking so that other people won't feel insecure around me. We are all meant to shine, as children do. We were born to make manifest the glory of the universe that is within us. It is not just in some of us, it is in everyone. And as I let my own light shine, I unconsciously give other people permission to do the same. As I am liberated from my own fear, my presence automatically liberates others. Well, hello everyone. Welcome back to the deMysticism podcast. This is my little platform for sacred conversations to help us find radical self-love. So I am Deb Caron. This is my second week of recording this podcast, and my commitment is to do this weekly and reflect or just talk about things I've personally been going through or observing in the collective. And it has certainly been a pretty powerful week for me personally, and for I think a lot of people that I have been witnessing in my own life. So quick note of clarification. I think last week when I talked about this intro that I created, I mentioned it was from Marrianne Williamson's A Woman's Worth. It's really from A Return to Love. I don't think that matters much, but I do have that meditation available on my website. You can go on there and download that. It's like a 1.5-minute meditation that then you can go ahead and use for yourself. Every morning, every night is my maybe invitation, so that maybe this will help you tap into your light and get past your deepest fears. And with that said, work in progress, right? I know I certainly am, and I think we all are. There's no finish line on this journey. So things that I want to reflect on in this past week, my gosh, I don't even know. I was going to write down some notes and try to plan this out, but I really want it to be organic. And so much happened in the past week that I need to continue to unpack. So whatever is high level and present on my mind in this moment is, to me, what is worthy of reflecting on, what's worthy of discussing. So I think what I really want to dive into in this idea of healing is pace. And I am guilty of not having a lot of patience, not patience for when I want to create something in my life, allowing for that path to unfold as it will, and in particular, healing, because it's been a rough time, and I am still kind of releasing this skin irritation that I have been working on for several months, and it has improved. It has significantly improved. And then there's this sensation, these ebbs and flows, right, where I have these days where I'm like, yes, it's all better. I figured it out. And then the universe is like, no, you didn't. No, you didn't. It comes back. It comes back in very interesting ways, and trying to uncover the links and the triggers. And I think there's usually more than one. So some of them that I am aware of are stress as it relates to parenting. There's a lot going on for me personally in my life, just rapid change in literally all areas. So parenting is one. I have a 16-and-a-half-year-old. If you've got kids, nothing needs to be said about parenting teenagers. You get it. So that's a challenge, and it's obviously something that I need to work on, because there are moments when I realize in parenting that it's really on me, how this other human is showing up in the world and responding to me because I am responding to her. I don't really want to get full on into that topic at this moment, but maybe a little bit more talking about how do we let go of this need for our healing to move quickly? How do we let go of wanting it to just be done with? Because I don't have the answer to that, but I am recognizing that when I have those moments where it starts to kick in, this presentation for me has been a lot of this itchy skin rash, and the itchiness to me is a lot of what's getting under my skin. Where am I not comfortable with myself or my current situation? Those are some of the messages. And then one of the things that I did over this past week was a deep psilocybin journey. And it's a little bit, I don't know, something about sharing these things publicly, but I think these are worth talking about. And this is by no means a prescription. I'm not suggesting anybody else have to do this. It is a path that I like to explore. It is a path that seems to work well for me. And so I had a very beautiful ceremony guided with some friends who have a lot of experience in this space. And this is not my first time working with the medicine. But I do think it's worth noting that your intention in a medicine is incredibly important, as is the company, the setting, all of those things. I'm not, this is not the point of my conversation to really deep dive into that. But if that's something that you're interested in, leave a comment, because I'd love to have some conversations with some of the people that have a little more expertise in that and share that with all of you. Anyhow, things that were revealed to me in this current or recent journey, I should say. It was interesting because I had this sense that there was going to be a lot of purging, a lot of needing to let go. And instead, what happened was a lot of me really just trying so hard to purge, to like, okay, there's something I need to let out. And ultimately, the medicine kind of telling me it's not so much what you need to let out, it's what you need to be willing to integrate. It's what you need to be willing to see, which is sometimes harder, right? These letting go of old identities, past versions of self, super valuable. And I think that's something that we always have to do. But there's also this piece of integrating the shadow sides of you, because we don't want to operate in toxic positivity. We don't want to spiritually bypass ourselves. We really want to look at every aspect of ourselves as valuable and beautiful. And even the things that feel like, God, I'm dysfunctional, or geez, I'm weak, or I'm really not handling this part of my life very well. Well, that is okay. That is all part of me, and dark thoughts and fear, self-doubt, all valid parts of the human experience. And I don't love to be in those spaces. I tend to try to avoid them. I tend to try to ignore them. I'll even admit that on the heels of this, I have not yet really forced myself to sit down and reflect and journal. And then that idea that I feel like I have to force it is something to look at, because this is not a forced process. Healing cannot be forced. So softening so that I can allow for those opportunities to show up in their own time, because there is no rush, right? And yeah, we all want to be on the other side of it. We all want to be our best selves, but we have to enjoy the ride, the path there. I don't know that I have any major wisdom to share in this particular episode, because I have not really sat with it, other than I think the wisdom is in the surrender and allowing, trusting that it will unfold as it should, and doing what I can. So things that I have done since then, and major shout out to my amazing partner, who is the most supportive man I've ever had in my life. Some of the things that we did over the weekend that really have softened me were, this is going to seem unrelated, but if you know, it's not. We spent some time repotting a lot of my plants. I have a lot of plants all over my house. And as I was kind of sinking and not in a good space, my plants were starting to look a little bit unhappy, because, we're coexisting in this environment. We are supporting each other, the plants, me, the plants. And when I'm kind of losing it, I'm not giving them as much love. They're feeling it. They're not returning as much. So we spent some time really nurturing the plants, putting them in fresh soil, giving them some prettier pots. And it was lovely. And it was a beautiful experience to work together on. And the other thing we did was work on deep cleaning my house. I had a lot of clutter going around. So clutter in your environment, clutter in your mind, clutter in your energy. And I don't know how I could possibly have thought I'm going to heal, I'm going to move beyond this space when I have all that chaos around me, which I never thought that. I was very aware that there was chaos around me and I did not like it. And I was in a point of almost paralysis to do anything about it. So, thank you, Paul. I love you so much. He really kind of stepped in to help me just move something along. And another little nugget of wisdom that dovetails well into that. One of my mentors, Michelle, had given me this advice a couple of weeks ago. Action is the antidote, the balm, or the salve, however you want to say it, to fear and anxiety. So taking the action steps, these are things that are helping me along the path. I was able last week to finally get my new website launched, to get this podcast started, to really start to move some of the things that I've been dreaming about. And that is also going to help with healing the physical body. So it's a chicken and an egg thing, right? Like the physical body needs to heal so I have the energy to do the things, but I have to do the things so I can allow the healing, and then it kind of snowballs more in the right direction instead of snowballing in the wrong direction, which is where I was kind of going before. So this is probably just going to be a quick conversation because I don't have too many profound thoughts or nuggets of wisdom to share here with you all yet, other than this week's reflections are having patience with myself, giving myself grace. God, if you are one of my yoga students, I've been, I know I drop a lot of wonderful wisdom in class, and sometimes I sit there and I'm like, if I would just take my own damn advice, which is easier said than done. So I've been listening more deeply to what I say and what I know, and how I do know that it is best to show up in this life, and then practicing what I frickin' preach, because it's so easy to look at someone else when you don't have the emotional attachment or you're not inside their experience, so you can see it more objectively. Your own experience is a whole different ballgame. So being able to step outside of myself, kind of witness myself a little bit more, to listen to the things I know to be true, to practice the things that I know frickin' work. Getting up in the morning and meditating, and like I said, keeping my space clean and beautiful. That does so much for my energy. I'm a Libra. I don't know if I think that matters. Libras are very environment harmonious. I'm a Libra sun. I have a ton of Libra in my chart in general, actually. So my environment around me is deeply impactful on me. So that was helpful. I think I'll leave it right there. This is about all I have the capacity to share right now, but I made a commitment to do this podcast on a weekly basis, so I am going to stick to that. If you listen to this whole thing, I deeply appreciate you. I will lean into probably a little more wisdom next week. We have another full moon coming up, I think at the end of this week. I'm recording this on Monday, July 7th. So I believe the full moon is Thursday or sometime. It's coming up soon. I know I have it on my calendar, and in this moment I am not looking at it, but there's some beautiful opportunities there always to work with that energy. And I know there's Uranus is making a move and changing signs, and these are all things that are going to help catalyze some of our collective energy. Hopefully toward positivity, but at least toward more movement, if that's, I guess movement is kind of the most neutral word I can give it. So with that, thank you all. Thank you for listening. And go and get the meditation on my website, deMysticism.com. It's DEMMYSTICISM. It's written in the name of this podcast.com. And there's a little button that says get your free meditation. I would love to have you drop me a note and collect that meditation. I will start sending out some emails as well. So if you'd like to get some emails with updates about group offerings that I've got coming up or private offerings that you can sign up for, there's a lot coming. There's a lot more that I have in the works, and it's finally falling into place. So that is exciting. Thank you for being with me on this journey, and I will talk to you all soon.